Well, we begin with politics, where a federal high court in Abuja dismissed a suit by the People's Democratic Party seeking the disqualification of Bola Tinubu and his vice Tinubu-Shettima from the 2023 presidential election. Given the judgment, Justice Yangeko dismissed the suit on the ground that the PDP lacked the capacity to institute the suit, describing it as an abuse of the court processes. And its originating summons, the PDP challenged the validity of Bola Tinubu to contest for the presidential election as APC candidate on the grounds that Mr. Shettima's nomination and his running mate was in a breach of the provisions of the Electoral Act 2022. It further sought an order compelling INEC to remove their names from the list or nominate a sponsored candidate eligible to contest the poll. The defendant, in their preliminary objection, urged the court to dismiss the suit for warrants of jurisdiction, which they say was challenging the political party's decision and his nomination of candidate for the polls. Justice Eko agreed with the defendant that the PDP had no capacity to file the matter. Well, joining me now in the studio, I have a member of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Nis Saliu. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Ahead of the poll in February, it's yet another win for APC and its presidential candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shettima. What do you think?
Well, the primary process of the APC is purely an internal issue of the APC. And the PDP cannot be aggrieved for the internal processes of the APC. They can't be taking Panadol for someone else's headache. It is an APC member that can be aggrieved, that can challenge the process. So far, the entire members of the APC are happy with the process. They're happy with the candidacy of our presidential candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the process of nomination of Shettima too. It's been flawless as far as I'm concerned, and the entire party supports, the nomination. So it is. I agree with the court. It is a waste of time, abuse of the court processes. And, I would advise that the PDP should engage more in campaigning. They have 36 states to cover. They still have an opportunity to run around the entire 36 states. And they need to also borrow leave from the APC presidential candidate. The process has been very coordinated. Every time you see, the timetable, review timetable, it shows a party that is working. And today's meeting is on a campaign rally. Tomorrow is meeting a caucus. It's also meeting, a group of some business people. It was at NESD about 2 or 3 days ago. So it shows a man that is focused. It shows a party that is determined, to run from the first day. And it shows that there is a coordinated process towards, a seamless transition from President Muhammadu Buhari. And the entire, campaign structure is all covered, and they are enjoying the benefit of, more governors from the ruling party. They have a national coverage, even in the South and Southeast that initially people thought were going to be an issue. As the problem has since disappeared. I saw a campaign of the presidential candidate in, I think, one of the eastern states. The acceptance, the number of people that turned out to welcome, even at the airport, was, something to be very proud of. So for me, I think political parties should just stop this, time wastage of going to court over issues that are just non-relevant to them and their campaigns, and focus on issues that bother on the welfare of Nigerians. All
right, Nia, you will agree with me that after poll and before and after poll in Nigeria, you get to see a court being flooded with litigation. How much of this is a distraction or strategy?
First, I'll tell you that anytime, as far as I'm concerned, that after an election, anyone feels aggrieved enough to go to court is an appraisal issue for INEC. First, the INEC should, live above board, conduct an election that, at least so far, majority of our people will agree that it's free and fair. And they should restore integrity, fairness, and transparency in the process, such that it will be difficult for anyone to genuinely disagree with the outcome of the election. Having said that, Nigerians, let me say, the majority of Nigerians or people go to court for several reasons. Some go genuinely to enforce their rights. Some go to court in the hope of circumventing the process. So whether someone feels genuinely defeated at the post or not, he still feels that at the court there are things that they can do to, somehow get around the process and through the back door get victory from the courts. And so it's a challenge to even the court itself that they must conduct their affairs with integrity, and they must assure Nigerians that the last hope of the common man. So if we have a process that is very transparent, that people can trust, that also shows to Nigerians that he operates with integrity, you hardly find anyone having been defeated at the polls. And because look, if you are in an election, by the time the election is getting close, you will understand and you will see if you're going to tell yourself the truth, whether you stand a chance in the elections or not. So once the election is concluded, and we should, as Nigerians, begin to cultivate the habit of easily, once we see that the process is free and fair, accept the outcome of the process, congratulate whoever has won. Someday we'll win too, and someone will have to congratulate us. Beyond the shores of Nigeria, recently in the US, a president tried to do the same around the court. He lost about 30 cases. It shows the consistency of the court, and Nigerian courts should imbibe that culture as well.
All right. You recall that somewhere during this presidential campaign in Damaturu, I remember, President Buhari says a vote for Tinubu and Shettima would guarantee a sustenance of progress made in the last 8 years. What do you make of this?
Well, it's genuine, assurance to Nigerians. If you are a government that has worked, you'll be genuinely concerned about who is taking over from you, because you have put some things in place. President Bola has worked for 8 years. He's done a lot in infrastructure. He's tried to link Nigeria through construction of roads and the rest. He's invested in IT. He's invested in technology and the rest. So he's fought against corruption almost the entire 8 years. And he has genuinely led this country from his heart. He will be genuinely concerned about who is taken away from him. And he has the benefit of information. Let's put party politics aside. He has the benefit of information. He gets security report every day. And he's been around. He knows everyone, almost everyone that is in this election at the level of presidential race. So he can tell the difference between Asiwaju Bola and Tinubu and the other frontrunners in this process. So, yes, Asiwaju is in his party, but President Buhari is also a leader that is very passionate about the progress of this country. So if he made a call that Asiwaju's election is key to continuation of the progress that is recorded in the last 8 years, I think Nigeria should listen to him. I think it's a genuine call. I think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu would do what is expected.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution so far.